All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Pathways. If you are looking at this and you may be on here live with me, I want to say that this is a safe space, and this is a space that we're going to talk about all things about diversity. And we know that we are moving forward into some changes, and things are happening, and so I want to talk about it. And some of us are, really nervous to talk about things and don't want to address the elephant in the room. But I am one of those type of people that let's talk about it, right? And so let's deal with it. And so some of us are really hurting, some of us are really sad, and some of us are working with people that we've worked with for years, and we're trying to figure all of these things out, right? So I want to say to you that you are in the right space. So, who am I? I am Dr. Andrea Blue, and I am the founder and CEO of Blue Pathways Educational Mentorship Services. So we focus on working with youth 14 through 24, but also we work with adults that are adulting, right? And so some of these topics can be a little heartbreaking and tough to have, but this is what we're doing today. We're definitely talking about some things. And when we work with youth, we focus on leadership, workforce training and development. We focus on literacy. And then we also focus on our second chance youth as well. So we know that sometimes we make mistakes in life and we just need a second opportunity. And that's what Blue Pathways does, especially for those that are ready to level up and do something better for them. Okay. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about what diversity is and what it is not. And so, what I like to do is I like to always start off with a definition of what diversity is. So, definition of diversity according to Webster. Uh, Diversity refers to the presence and inclusion of differences within a given setting, okay? Including but not limited to someone's race, their ethnicity, their gender, age, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, disability, religious beliefs, and cultural backgrounds, right? It acknowledges and values the unique perspectives, experiences, and contributions that individuals bring to a group, organization, or society. Okay. So when you think about diversity, diversity it's not just about race or ethnicity. While race and ethnicity are important aspects of diversity, true diversity includes a broad spectrum of characteristics, such as someone from different socioeconomic backgrounds, abilities, and viewpoints. Then diversity is not tokenism. It is not about fulfilling quotas or adding individuals from underrepresented groups just for appearances. It must be meaningful and integrated into a culture and decision making processes. So, we're going to talk about what that means when you're working with someone that looks like you and you're like, well, why are they here? They are not the token, okay? That is not what diversity is. Diversity is not one size fits all. Diversity is not a rigid concept that looks the same in every organization or community. It's going to be different. It evolves based on context and the unique need of the group. So, one organization should not be mimicking what someone else does because the culture may be a little bit different for another organization. Diversity is not about political or trendy buzzwords, um, it is a fundamental principle of inclusion. That means including everyone in the conversation to enhance innovation, problem solving, and social cohesion. So we're coming together as a people. You're bringing your perspective, I'm bringing my perspective. We don't have to necessarily look like each other, but Your values and your feelings and your thoughts and your emotions are just as valuable to this conversation as anybody else's. The absence of unity, that diversity is not the absence of unity. When there is no unity and you're discussing diversity, there needs to be a conversation that needs to be revamped. So it is about embracing diversity and that part of division or exclusion of any group. So if you're feeling like you're excluded in your workplace and you're feeling like you're not a part of the conversation and it just feels weird and wonky, I want to say to you that you are justified in your feelings. And so don't let anyone make you feel like you are off or like you're not really know what you're talking about. When you feel that, it is real. Okay. So walk in that and do something about it. And the beautiful thing about it is that you have a choice. You have a choice to be at a space where you're feeling wanted and supported. And then you have another opportunity to make a different decision. That's the beautiful thing about all of this. And yes, there are difficult conversations that you have to have with yourself and your loved ones, but your mental capacity and your mental health is more important than just staying somewhere where it's not healthy. So when you think about the absence of unity, it seeks to create a space where differences are acknowledged. So my difference and where I come from must be acknowledged and respected while fostering collaboration and a shared goal. So we have one goal in mind, whatever that goal is, but I bring my experience and my expertise to it, and so do other people. So if you are working in DEI and feeling uncertain about the future, know that you are not alone. Okay. We are all feeling it out here. It feels awkward. It feels weird. We're not sure what's going to happen. The challenges may be great, but so is our commitment to standing with you. So, Blue Pathways is doubling down. We're not backing off of diversity. We're not going to not have these conversations. You're going to see this video and me talk more about diversity and the support of people that are different than each other. And so we're ensuring that the resources, our community, and strategies needed to keep pushing forward are in place. And that is exactly what we do. So we're asking you to join us in these conversations. For those of you that are watching the replay, thank you. Those that are joining me live, I appreciate you. We appreciate you because the work doesn't stop. So make sure that you're sharing this video with someone. Don't just take it, watch it, and don't share it with someone else. We are in this together. So let's move forward stronger than ever. So I want to say to you that we're going to keep having these conversations about navigating DEI and the uncertainty, because we know that is a very, very difficult conversation sometimes. So again, thank you for joining in this conversation. We know that many of you are working in DEI and facing the uncertainty, whether it's funding, job security, or shifting your priorities in your organization. Maybe they're taking your title and changing it to something else to remove it away from to move away from the diversity piece. Don't feel like this is a personal attack. This is something for that organizations right now have to do in order for them to um, keep their funding. But at the same time, it should not change your heart. It should not change your mission of the work that you are doing. So again, you are not alone. Blue Pathways is here, and we are definitely, again, doubling down on these situations and these challenges. So today's discussion will definitely be about that and continuing the work. We understand, trust me, we understand. Have worked in diversity and DEI for the past, since 2009. So I've been working in the field of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and in these spaces for a very, very long time. And so this work is not new to me. I travel around the world and I talk about diversity and what it means. And I'm going to keep doing that. We're going to definitely keep having these conversations. So that's what you do, is you make these conversations relevant and top of mind. You don't back away from. So if there's anyone that's saying, I want to back away from diversity, I just feel like I'm not supported and I'm not comfortable talking about it, and you are a person that is dealing with any of these spaces that I mentioned in the definition, you don't have a right to walk away and change the conversation, because this is you. You are different, and you have to recognize that and say, you know what, I am different, so I must embrace the diversity piece. Okay. So, despite these challenges, you need to know that DEI work has not gone away. If anything, it's more important than ever. We have to continue the work. Have you been impacted? I want you to drop your thoughts, send your thoughts to me. I want to make sure that we are raising the bar when we have these conversations. It is important to recognize that while some of the doors are closing, others are opening. There are some great things that are happening in the DEI space. I was just watching a video earlier, and you know how they're saying that in Target they have taken, and marked off everything 50% because it is they are diversity products. Lies. I'm gonna sip my tea on that with my coffee on that. Those are lies. Those are things to say that just because someone has said that they're going to walk away from the diversity space, that the value of the product is null and void. That is absolutely a lie. The product is still what it is. The product is still amazing. People have still been buying it. And so I don't want you to fall prey to these things that are being said to you, because what will happen is you begin to fall into the space of fear. And we never want to walk into the space of fear. Okay, so we want to make sure um, that we're always walking into a space of certainty and understanding that, yes, I know that it feels different, but this is a change, and we're going to continue the work. So again, doors are not closing, other things are happening. The work is shifting, but it's not stopping. Nobody is stopping diversity. Nobody is stopping these conversations. As a matter of fact, again, we are doubling down. So I want to say to you, there are strategies for moving forward, and I want to help you navigate these strategies. So make sure that you are continuing this work, and as it is be more sustainable. DEI is sustainable work, and we want to make sure that you understand that this is not about black and brown. This is not about you and me. This is about us cohesively coming together, all of us on this planet coming together with one common goal. And what is the goal? For me, is you, second chance youth, literacy. For me, what is it for you? And so you have to ask those tough questions. What is diversity for you? And it can't be tied into a certain type of people. It has to be one common goal. And so my common goal is the youth, 14 through 24. I want to see them win, and I don't want to see them frail and keep trying to figure this out when we know that the work is been tested, tried, and tested. And so we would just want to encourage them to not just be followers. We're all filled up with followers. We need some leaders. So if you're a leader and you're saying, hey, Dr. Blue, I like what you're doing, I like what you're talking about, let's have a conversation. I would definitely love to figure out how we can plan and work together so that we can build. Because if we're not coming with that one common goal, then we are missing the mark completely. Okay. So, how do you stay relevant and effective in this space? So, diversify your skills, lean into consulting, leadership, consult and do this work outside of just your job space. Um, Leadership development, take on some leadership development opportunities, or community organizing. Come up with an organization or a group that you can put together that we can still have these tough conversations. If you're anywhere where I'm at, I'm definitely going to make it my point to come. So we want to make sure that we're building a collective power. It's not about you're up and I'm down, or we're one in the same. We have to be, but there are some of us, like myself, I've been in this space for a very long time, that I can speak to things that you probably can't speak to because I sit at different tables than other people sit at. And if you sit at the same tables than I do, kudos to you. But this is not about me trying to one up you or you will one up me. And so that has been some of the struggles that I've seen, that a lot of us feel like we got to be in charge or we have to be the leader. Why can't we all just sit down at the table and have these tough conversations? Because they're not going away. They're not going away. So we are stronger together. Now is the time to lean into collaboration. We need each other more than ever now. So networking should be intentional. It should not just be coming together, sitting at a table, talking about nothing. What is the common goal? What are we trying to get to? And if you know anything about Dr. Blue, I hate to meet. We have to have a goal in mind. And what is that goal by the time that we're done with this meeting? Everyone should have their marching orders and their steps on what they're going to do. So if we're meeting together, we're not doing that. Those type of meetings are just a waste of people's time, and notice that people will begin to fall off. But if you're giving people tasks and they're taking on tasks to do within the organization or the goal in mind, then people will feel more committed. So if you're going to start an organization or be the leader of something to do have to do with diversity, don't sit around and just talk about it, and read the minutes from last time. People can read themselves. Yes, you have a secretary if you're doing um, the group part of it, but yeah, but that should not be the focus. That should be really really quick. Make sure that your networking is connected to your mission. You're not just meeting people just because they want to have a conversation, because some people just nosy, right? They just want to meet to meet. They just want to, what are you guys talking about? Well, if you're not part of the growth and the progression, then you're part of the problem. Okay. And if you're coming just to be a I spy and see what's going on and add your 2 cents and take it somewhere else and not really helping to support, then you're not part of the solution. You are part of the problem. So make sure that you're engaging in advocacy. So being an advocate for people that that you sit around every day that are struggling with these things and are trying to figure out what diversity is for them and their families and their loved ones, and these changes in jobs, and um CEOs are walking away, CEOs are being let go, vice presidents, presidents are being let go of their positions as they are walking in these DEI spaces. So I want to say to you, that's heartbreaking, because it happened to me. It's very heartbreaking. So I want to say to you, make sure that you are highlighting the importance of DEI in all spaces that you sit at every table. Make sure that it is a conversation. I take it with me. I can't not talk about being a brown, educated woman at these tables. And sometimes it's not very, welcome, but I don't ask permission. I'm who I am, and so I keep it real with people, and they know that. So DEI professionals can pivot into leadership coaching, HR consulting, education, and policy work. So we know that when you think about new opportunities, it's not over for you just because you're moving into a different space. There are emerging spaces where DEI is growing, supplier diversity, workforce development, and entrepreneurship. Blue Pathways is creating our opportunities for mentorship, training, and partnerships. And we want to support you. How can we support you? So, after all of this that I talked about today, and if you're listening to the replay or you're watching it live, we always think about our call to action. And we always want to talk about what the next steps are. And if there are no next steps, and this has just been a conversation that I've just been talking to you, then we've missed the mark. Okay. So I want to let you know that our our focus and our goal at Blue Pathways is, again, we are committed to providing tangible support, whether through training and networking or job opportunities. We will help you find jobs that you are seeking. Maybe it's time for you to make a change anyway, and it was time for you to go. And this has just been the thing that has just been the opportunity for you to do the thing that you've been really, really called to do. So fear not. We want to hear from you. What do you need most right now? So I want you to send me that. You can send me an email to Blue Pathways Mentorship .com. I will be glad to I will always respond to you. I always respond to emails when people send them to me. But I'll tell you one thing though: if you send me some junk or you come at me sideways, I'm gonna have to come at you and give it to you straight, no chaser, because this work here, I'm serious about this. This is not something that I have to do. This is something that I get to do, and I find it an honor to be able to serve in these spaces. So if you're coming junky and you're coming messy, then I'm going to have to tell you about yourself and I'm going to put you on blast. But if you're coming honestly and you want to say, you know what, I really, really want to work with Blue Pathways and the people in my community as we navigate this DEI conversation, let's do it. Okay. We'll find a space, we'll come together, we'll do the work, and we'll continue it because we have youth in our community and families and loved ones that are reeling from this as well. Because when you make one change in your family, it ripples. It's a ripple effect. It's not just you that's dealing with it. It changes everything within your family. Um, and so I want you to know that you are not alone in these spaces, and make sure that you reach out. And the only way that you're going to get some help and support is if you reach out. So if you're not saying anything and you're just trying to be in a silo and be by yourself and I'll figure it out, I'll just figure it out. You don't have to do that. We can all talk about it because we're all feeling the same thing. So we are inviting you to stay engaged with us beyond today. Here's how you can collaborate with us. DEI isn't just a moment, it's a movement. So DEI is definitely a movement, and movements thrive when people come together. So if people are trying to do things in silos, um, there is no forward movement. So I think about when I first started my business, I was just trying to do everything. I was like, well, I don't need to hire anybody. I don't need anybody. I can figure all this stuff out on my own. I know how to do it. But just because you know how to do it doesn't mean that you have to do it all by yourself. Okay. There are people that are smarter than you. There are people that are more educated than you. There are people that are more qualified. There are people that are able to jump in where you got to try to figure it out, that are able to do the work quicker than you. And so you needed to embrace that. And I had to do the same thing. So I want to just say to you, you are welcome to this space. You're welcome to this conversation. This conversation doesn't end here. Stay connected with us and continue to watch as we continue to have these conversations. So if you're looking for a community, mentorship, or resources, Blue Pathways is here for you. So, again, thank you for being part of this movement. Let's continue to build together. And we'll follow up with additional resources and ways to stay involved. And we will see you soon. We look forward to working with you guys. You have a great day. All right.